In this class, the third class, we have to learn the MM model or MM approach in dividend policy. The first one was Walton model, the second one Gordon model, and the third one or last one MM model. According to MM model, that is Cleary and Miller, okay, the dividend payment is irrelevant to determining the value of firm. That means dividend payment doesn't affect the value of firm. But before, we learned in Walter model and Gordon model that dividend policy affect the value of the firm. But here it is totally opposite. Now we are discussing some assumptions like Walter and Gordon. We have already discussed in our previous videos. What are these assumptions? The first one, we are discussing MM approach. The first one, the firm operates in perfect competition market. The second one, there is no tax exist. Number third, there is fixed investment policy. Number four, there is no uncertainty. And the last one is every investors are rational. Okay, these are 5 assumptions. Now I am discussing it. The first one is perfect competition market. That means any type of informations relating to the market we can easily get or collect at totally free of cost. Number second, there is no tax, there is nothing to say. Number 3 is fixed investment policy. That means the rate of return is unchanged totally. Number 4 is no uncertainty. No uncertainty means every investors can easily know the future value of the firm. Last one is every investors are rational. That means dividend payment, any amount of dividend payment doesn't affect the investors. Maybe it is a small amount of dividend or a huge amount of dividend, but it has no effect on the investors. They are totally rational in case of dividend. The second part of our today's class, that is in the time of dividend payment, there will be 3 situations or 3 cases. The first one is dividend payment out of sufficient cash. That means the company or the firm has sufficient cash to pay the dividend. Second is no sufficient cash to pay the amount of dividend. So here is some additional investment or money. And third one, there is no cash to pay the dividend. Okay, so these are three situations according to MM model when any firm pay the dividend at the end of the year. They can be number one situations, they may be in number second situations or number third situations. Now we can write here the required formula to establish or to deduce the MM approach. The first one is P0 equals to D1, that is caps D, plus P1 divided 1 plus K. Second one is delta N P1 equals to I means investment minus E, this is first bracket, minus delta N into P1. Next, number 3 is delta N P0, this P1 into N plus delta N minus I plus E whole divided by 1 plus K. Okay. Now I am telling this notation in full term. That is P0. P0 means the beginning market price of share. P1 means the ending market price of shares. K means cost of capital. D1 means the dividend at the end of the year, per share dividend. Delta N means, and only N means the number of initial equity shares or shares. That is at the beginning of the year, the number of equity shares. And delta N means the number of required or additional shares. I means the investment required to payment the dividend, and E means the earnings, the net earnings of firm. So these are here those notations, that is P0, P1, N, delta N, D1, K, I, E. Okay, I am telling again, P0 means the beginning market price of share, PN means the ending market price of share, only N means number of equity shares at the beginning of the year, delta N means number of additional share, D1 means the dividend per share, K means the cost of capital, I that is investment required to payment the dividend, and E means the total earnings of the related firm. I am select here already one sum to establish the MMA approach, and through that sum I prove that dividend payment doesn't affect the value of the firm. Sorry, there is two mistakes. That is, it should be not delta n, it should be only n, that is the initial number of equity shares, n into P0, that is the value of firm. And number second is, it not be delta n into P1, it would be n into D1. Okay. Bongobashi Limited belongs to a high risk for which appropriate capitalization rate is 10%. It currently has outstanding 2000 equity shares of 100 each. The firm is contemplating the declaration of dividend of ₹8 per share at the end of the current financial year. It expects to have a net earning of ₹20,000 and has a proposal for making new investment of ₹24,000. Now we are starting our sums. Here P0, next P1, next D1, next K, next N, next delta N, next I, and next E. P0 here ₹100, P1 we don't know, D1 that is ₹8, K that is 10%, that is 0.10, number of shares at the beginning of the year, that is 2000. Delta N we don't know, E that is ₹20,000, and I that is 24,000. So according to our sum, these are notations and their number. You see here, we don't know the ending market price of shares and the additional requirement or the additional number of shares. Then I am applying here the first formula, that is P0 equals to D1 plus P1 divided by 1 plus K. P0 that is 100, D1 that is 8, P1 that is we don't know, that is P1, 1 plus K means 0.10. Then you have to calculate, and it should be P1, that is ₹102. Okay, now we have already found out the amount of P1, that is 102. Now second, we are applying the second formula, NP1, that is delta NP1 equals to I minus E minus N into D1. Okay, delta N we don't know, P1 that is 102, I that is 24,000, E that is 20,000, N that is 2,000, and D1 that is 8. You should put the all related value except delta N, then you have get delta n equals to 20,000 divided 102. Next, third formula, that was np0 equals to p1 n plus delta n minus I plus e 1 plus k. N, that is 2000, p0 that is 100, p1 that is 102, n that is 2000, delta n that is 20,000 by 102 minus I means 24,000, e that means 20,000, 1 plus 0.10. Then we have to calculate, and here the amount will become, it is rupees 2 lakh. 2 lakh, that means here you look, that is n, that is number of shares, that is 2000 into p0, the initial amount, that is 100, that is 2 lakhs. That is 2 lakhs equals to 2 lakh. Then those amount are same. There is nothing different due to dividend policy, due to dividend payment are made. This is the value of the firm, initial value 2 lakhs, and this is the ending value of the firm, that is 2 lakhs. You can see here 2 lakhs equals to 2 lakhs. That means it is proved that dividend payment here not affected the value of the firm. This is the part when dividend declared. When dividend declared, that is dividend rupees 8 per share. Now the next part of this sums, we write here there is no dividend, that is 0. Okay, there is the this is only one difference between two parts. In our first part, we can see here that d1 equals to 8, and the second part, that is d1 equals to 0. That means in the second part, dividend haven't declared. Then d1 equals to 0. Then by the first formula, we can find out p1. Please you all calculate it by putting those figures, and next delta n you have to calculate it, and after that the all requirement data you put this third formula, and the amount will be also 2 lakh. That means if we don't allow the dividend, then also the value of the farm will be 2 lakh. If we allow or don't allow, there is nothing different. That means it totally proved or clearly proved that dividend payment doesn't affect to determine the value of the firm according to the MM model or approach. Thanks, and I am declaring here that it is the last class before lockdown breakup. Thank you everybody.